Fan favorite Jamaal Williams was not re-signed in the 2022 NFL offseason. And I was big on Jamaal Williams coming back. I'm not going to lie. I still miss him. I miss the energy he brought. I miss to me, he embodied what the city was. And I'm happy and thankful for what he helped build with this team. And it's sad to see him go, but at the same time, this is a business and it was treated as such. And whatever happened between him and the Detroit Lions seemed like it was a bit of saltiness there. And surprisingly, ironically, neither one of the running backs that were number 1 and 2 last year are currently with the Detroit Lions. Instead, we go get David Montgomery in free agency, and then we draft Jahmyr Gibbs with the 12th overall pick in the 2023 NFL Draft. Bill Barnwell seems to think that David Montgomery is a downgrade over Jamaal Williams. Now, I have some thoughts about this. To me, I'll tell you those later. So I'm going to put the question before you. I can honestly say I didn't see a lot of Bears games. I live in the city of Detroit pretty much. So my local team is the Detroit Lions. Only time I really saw the Bears is if I was doing a Bears game or if they were playing the Detroit Lions. And I didn't see much of Montgomery. I know he played 16 games, but I know when he played us those 2 times, I don't remember seeing much of him, right? So the debate since January or I should say since March when we acquired David Montgomery and Jamaal Williams went to the New Orleans Saints is this a lateral move? Was this a downgrade? And Bill Barnwell thinks that this was a downgrade from Jamaal Williams. Here's what he had to say. This is coming from FanSided, coming from ESPN. Says Gibbs should have an immediate impact. Gibbs should have an immediate role in the offense and eventually take away the primary job from free agent addition David Montgomery, who was ordinary with the Bears. Gibbs is likely an upgrade on traded DeAndre Swift, but Montgomery is a downgrade from Jamaal Williams, who was much closer to a league average back over the past 2 years. Now, this seems to be the thing that sets everything off. Bears fans were sick to see David Montgomery go. I remember when the news was announced, a lot of Bears channels were popping up on my feed, and they were upset. They were upset about seeing David Montgomery go. And David Montgomery has a ton of broken tackles, a ton of yards after contact, and that's something Jamaal Williams didn't have a ton of. Now, I must say that I have to give Jamaal his flowers. In the 2022 NFL season, he was the superior running back. He played all 17 games. Let me bring this in right now. He played all 17 games. He had 262 attempts for 1,066 yards. He had 17 touchdowns, which were not as easy as you think they were. He had an average of 4.1 yards per carry. His long was 58. Here's where he really hurt us right here with the 3 fumbles, but the 2 that he lost. One specifically was in the Dallas game when that game was still early on, but the tide changed after that. And then the other one was on Thanksgiving Day. He fumbled. Lions were driving, doing their thing. He fumbled. We lost that one. The one he recovered doesn't matter because we got it back, right? So in 2022, he was the superior running back. Now, if you say, well, he was running behind I know what the first argument is that the Bears O-line was trash and that David Montgomery should thrive behind the Detroit Lions offensive line. That's true, 100%. That's something we have yet to see, right? We have to see what David Montgomery is going to be able to do. If we look at David Montgomery for the 2022 season, he played 16 out of 17 games. He had 61 less carries. He had 801 yards, and even with 61 less carries, he still averaged 4 yards per carry. He only had 5 touchdowns. His long was 28. So I'm big into math, and if you do the math, the numbers they favor as far as when it comes to carries and average. He had 61 less carries, but only 265 yards less. But with those less carries and less yards, he still averaged only 0.1 lower than Jamaal Williams. So overall, the superior back as far as numbers are concerned, it was Jamaal Williams in 2022. I'm not going to, take away his flowers. I'm going to give him his credit. Yes, he was running behind the Detroit Lions offensive line, top 5 in the league, maybe even top 3. And that was without our starters who never took a snap together, right? And an injured Frank Ragnow. But when it comes to who is the better running back, is it a downgrade? I'm going to say no. I don't believe it's a downgrade. I believe that at worst it was a lateral move. I do think based off the history of David Montgomery, the ability, to me, Jamaal Williams is a bowling ball. He's not very nimble. He's not very shifty, but he can take a hit. He can give a hit. He didn't get a ton of yards after he was tackled, after he was touched. David Montgomery, on the other hand, has better yards after contact and has tons of broken tackles, which Jamaal Williams doesn't do that, right? So I think that it's kind of, to me, it's unfair to compare the two. It really is. I know why we're doing it, though, because basically Jameer replaced Swift, the same shifty type running backs, and David replaced Jamaal. But I think that they're two different running backs, right? Like, Jamaal he sees you, he hits you, he gets a couple yards, or he doesn't. David is not that running back. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a two different types of running backs. I think I do, in my honest opinion, but this video is not about Jameer. I think Jameer is an upgrade over DeAndre Swift. That's just facts. I believe that, and I know we'll see that. But this here, I think that it's an unfair comparison. I really do. Those are just my opinions. But I'm not going to take away from Jamaal's 2022 season. But I don't agree that it's a downgrade. But if you do, that's okay. I think it's unfair to compare the two. I think it has the potential to be an upgrade, but it's more right now of a lateral move. But if you look at the stats overall, then David Montgomery he's projected to be a better running back, just based off the fact that he'll have a better O-line. And like I said, if you look at his numbers, he averaged 4 yards per carry off 200 less carries, and he had the same average as Jamaal. So that just means he was getting more with less. You understand what I'm saying? So I wouldn't consider it a downgrade. I think right now it's more of a lateral upward trajectory, and then after this season, we'll see a full-blown upgrade. But let me know if you agree, disagree. I know a lot of you in the comment section is going to be like, oh, he's an upgrade. As soon as the trade happened, it was an upgrade. Jamaal was like, he's trash, blah, blah, blah. And I think that's unfair. But if you take the business part aside, it's that, to me, like I said, you really can't compare them because, to me, they're two different running backs. Jamaal was a hole buster. That's what he was. Hole buster. I don't see David as one of those. Just like Swift. Swift was not a hole buster. He was a shifty, make you miss, breaking ankles. Jamaal ain't breaking no ankles. I think David can break a few. So I think that it's an unfair comparison between the two. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for subscribing. We hit 2,400 yesterday, trying to push even further and give you the best content. The season is coming quickly, so make sure you subscribe for more NFL content. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself, and I will see you in the next video.